Nothing brings about quicker burnout for pastors and church planners than conflict with folks who are part of your church. That letdown and pain can make it so hard to want to keep your heart soft and open. But a big part of leading a group of people is navigating the many different relationship dynamics that are going to happen, right? And boundaries, they are going to be your life jacket that keeps you floating. So, in the process, how do we know when there's an issue in our boundaries that needs to be dealt with? The biggest gift you can give yourself and your church is to be connected to yourself, your gut and your feelings. Because your emotions are boundary setting warnings. They are the alarms, okay? And I know as Christians, it can really be a challenge to allow those darker feelings like frustration, anger, and rage. But they are trying to communicate something important to you. Feelings like resentment or anger might be trying to show you that you need to have a boundary with someone. Now, I know on the other hand, you can use the opposite feelings of comfort and happiness to show you that this person might be actually really safe and that you can loosen a boundary and let them into your inner circle a bit more. But only by becoming familiar with your own emotions and feelings can you follow the roadmap that they are trying to create for you. So, for example, if you feel angry, that might be a sign that you need to construct a boundary. I feel so angry at Joe, but I have no idea why, because Joe is such a nice guy. I mean, he wouldn't hurt a fly, right? So it makes no sense why I'd be so angry at Joe. Why am I so angry when I'm around him? My chest and my jaw feel tight and I leave feeling angry. Your body and your feelings are trying to give you wisdom to an action that's needed by you. Even if you don't understand why, it's important to listen. So, 2 big steps when setting boundaries are 1, setting a boundary, you can give a time when it can be loosened, right? So I can't do that now, but I can next Tuesday. And number 2, I statements. Most of us who have read any self-help books or watched Oprah, we know about this therapeutic way of communication called I statements. No one, not me, not you, no one likes to be blamed or put down. So when we focus on the other person, it only leads to defensiveness and a shutdown in the space between us. So here's the thing about I statements. They sound really easy, right? I can do that. But they actually are really hard to do in real time. The other day my wife was driving on the freeway and I wanted her to slow down majorly. In fact, I thought she was doing a pretty crappy job of driving, kind of like a maniac. I wanted to say, what are you doing? Stop driving like this. But that would have led to a fight, right? And honestly, it was my opinion that she was driving that way. So instead I said, I'm feeling especially anxious with all this traffic. Can you slow down a bit? So this gave her the opportunity to hear me and care for me rather than feel defensive of my judgment of her. My feelings of anxiety and anger gave me a clue that I needed to set a boundary, right? And the boundary was for her to slow down. Now I just needed to have to own it with my I statement. The truth is, these 2 skills, when it comes to boundaries, they will help a ton. But at the end of the day, I wish it wasn't so, but people are still going to get upset with your boundaries. So, an interesting question maybe to reflect on is, what would you do differently if you weren't afraid of upsetting someone else? A big part of being able to set boundaries is to be able to withstand others' emotional outbursts. And they will come. But we can do that by self-soothing. We can self-soothe by meditating, finding a supportive voice inside of you that supports and loves you. Have a safe person that you can let your walls down with and talk with and pray with. But ultimately, self-soothing is mostly a deep internal work that comes from you to you. Another way of saying self-soothing is self-compassion. It's incredibly powerful work, and will radically change the way you're able to set boundaries.